Royal Canadian Mounted Police this week started regular Black Hawk helicopter flights along the Manitoba border, adjoining Minnesota as well as North Dakota. The RCMP says the flights will target human smuggling across the border, as well as the movement of illegal drugs. Police officers will be aboard the flights, which authorities say will improve response times. The statement from the RCMP did not offer details on why the agency stepped up its flights along the border, but the move comes after President Trump this week reiterated his long-standing criticism of Canada's border security efforts. I'm Andrew Krieger.
The president and CEO of Children's Minnesota Hospital will retire in July. Dr. Mark Gorelick joined Children's in 2017 as chief operating officer before transitioning to CEO later that year. Children's Minnesota Board of Directors has started the search for the next CEO. Gorelick will continue leading the organization until the successor is in place. In sports, the Minnesota Wild face off against the Utah Hockey Club tonight in St. Paul. This is NPR News.
All Things Considered is supported by the University of Minnesota Rochester, where an AI model was built that scans biopsies for signs of melanoma. This can lead to earlier diagnosis and can help eliminate cancer everywhere. From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Ari Shapiro.
And I'm Juana Summers. President Trump is trying to end birthright citizenship with a new executive order, but it is already under attack in the courts. There are at least 4 lawsuits filed, including from the ACLU and 2 groups of states, arguing that the right of those born in the U.S. to be automatically granted citizenship in this country is enshrined in the Constitution and cannot be abolished unilaterally by a president. Meanwhile, the president considers the right, quote, ridiculous. California has signed on to the lawsuit, and State Attorney General Rob Bonta joins me now. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Grateful to be here.
So, this order sets a start date that as of February 19th of this year, babies born to parents here in the United States without legal status will not be American citizens. As we mentioned, a federal judge has temporarily blocked the order, but I'd like to ask you, if it should go forward, what will that mean to people in your state of California and around the country?
My hope and belief, first and foremost, is that it never goes forward. It's blatantly unconstitutional. A judge found that today, issuing a temporary restraining order in the state of Washington. On day one, President Trump, with this action, managed to trample over the U.S. Constitution, attack American citizens, attack children, and do something that's very un-American and contrary to the law, to the U.S. Constitution. Should it go forward, it could create great irreparable harm and injury to those born after it goes into place 30 days from its issuance date. In California, we think there's about 25,000 almost children who would be born every year that would be entitled to birthright citizenship, who would then be, if this executive order went into place, deportable at any time, wouldn't have access to federal programs that provide food assistance or housing or health care, things like Medicaid or Children's Health Insurance Program, and many other services, programs, and privileges of citizenship.
If I could, I want to jump in here on the citizenship argument, if I can. This is predicated on the 14th Amendment, which reads, and I'm going to quote in part here, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, end quote. They are automatically citizens, but as you may have heard, some conservative legal scholars argue that this phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, that it has been misinterpreted, that it actually does not apply to children born in this country, to non-citizens. How do you respond to that?
They're wrong, and they're advancing a fringe theory that no court at the United States of America has ever adopted, and the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected twice. So they can posit the theory that they wish. It's a fringe theory, and it's a Hail Mary at best. The Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment has been interpreted to mean what it says it means. It's plain and unambiguous. If you're a person, and these are persons born in the United States, and you're an American citizen, and the subject to the jurisdiction thereof is meant to address foreign diplomats who are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. They're subject to the jurisdiction of their foreign home nation, and also potentially for foreign military forces occupying the United States of America. That is not what this executive order is about. So it goes far beyond the interpretations of the U.S. Supreme Court, the plain and unambiguous language of the 14th Amendment, and it's blatantly unconstitutional.
Right, I hear that, but that said, the